Hello, this is McDonald-Amaker with Social Work 304 Social Work Practice. This is graded assignment 5, and the portion that we're covering is summarization. Come in.
Hi, I'm going to speak with the social worker.
Yes, that's me. How may I help you?
Well, I was thinking about dropping out of school.
Okay, what's your name?
Stefan Roberts.
Okay, Mr. Roberts. Tell me kind of what's going on.
Well, it's just really the teachers, the homework, the test, it's everything. I've pretty much come to the conclusion that school's got nothing to do with the real world. I'm sitting here learning about geography, snow glaciers, and what does that have to do with life? I mean, really. So I think I've had enough. It's the conformity and the structure and all the rules. I think I'm quitting. A friend of mine quit, and he's not employed right now, but he's doing okay. And I don't want to be a brain surgeon anyway. I just want to get a good job, pay my bills, and live on my own.
Okay, well, what would you do if you quit school?
Well, I'd get a job. I don't know, maybe take a breather for a little while.
Okay, so what else is going on in your life right now that you feel like you might need a break?
The regular stuff. My parents are ragging on me. I'm failing. That kind of stuff.
Well, I hear a couple of different things that might be concerning you. Correct me if I'm wrong. One issue sounds like you have a situation that you need to deal with school and the fact that you have failing grades. Also, I hear some issues with conforming to, well, I guess you would say, applying school to what the real world has to offer.
Right.
And also rules. Are you having an issue with like rules at school or rules at home or both?
It's both. I don't understand why I need to be in school in the first place. What's it teaching me? X plus Y? I'm not going to use that.
Well, can I ask you, what about school do you like?
I guess it just gets me out of the house. Some stuff's good.
Okay. What do you find most difficult about school?
I just hate history and geography. There's no snow glaciers around here.
With that being true, yes. However, do you realize that even most jobs in the real world, you'll still have to have a GED or a high school diploma?
Well, I figured I could get my foot in the door and work my way up.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's apply school to real world situations.
All right.
You have situations at the job where school teaches you critical thinking skills. Are you familiar with critical thinking skills? How to apply things?
I guess.
Okay. So, with your critical thinking skills, do you realize that in order for you to be able to communicate properly with other people in the real world situation at real jobs, you'll have to be able to have a little bit of knowledge of everything just to better communicate?
I just need a break. I'll worry about that later.
Well, what about your classwork? Do you think getting an individual educational plan would probably help? Have you ever been tested for any type of learning disabilities?
No.
Okay. Do you have some, I guess you can say, some hang-ups when you do try to study?
Well, really my biggest thing is the classroom, like reading out loud, and it's like my mind works faster than my mouth.
Would you be willing to talk with a guidance counselor also in regards to possibly seeing what type of programs are available to you as a student that they could possibly help you, whether it's peer tutoring or if it's tutoring from one of the instructors here at the school? Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, maybe. How long would that take?
It all depends on the guidance counselor's availability.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do within the next couple of days, I can contact the guidance counselor, or better yet, you could go to the guidance counselor's office and I'll follow up with you and the guidance counselor as to what will be the next steps that need to be taken from there. With that being said, we would possibly involve your parents to kind of get them on board so that they can be a part of the helping process also, if that sounds like a plan.
Okay.
That sounds good to you?
That sounds fine.
Okay, so within the next couple of days, we'll get together, okay?
Okay, thank
All
you,
right.
Ms. Amaker.
No problem. This is Social Work Practice 304, Information Giving, Part 2. Hello, how are you today?
I'm okay. The reason I came in was because my daughter's having a really hard time making friends. She's 6 years old. She's really demanding and bossy to everyone, and she's always been like that. But since her brother was born, it's gotten a lot worse. At school, Susie spends most of her time alone now. The other kids don't want anything to do with her. I've tried everything I can think of, and she's driving me crazy. Her teacher suggested I might talk to you.
Okay, well, let's see what we can do. You said she's 6 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there's been a new baby in the family?
Well, he's about a year old now.
Okay. And how has it been? Has it just changed over, or have you noticed a gradual change?
I guess it's been gradual.
Okay. And she's in the first grade?
Yes, ma'am, she is now.
So, question. When she's in the classroom, does she have issues with socializing with the teacher then? Or is it just when it's like free time for the students? Do you know?
From what the teacher told me, she mostly sits by herself, very quiet. But when playtime, she wants to be the one picking out what games they play. If it doesn't go her way, if she loses, she gets very upset. And the kids don't want a second mother. And she's just being very bossy, telling them what to do constantly. It's not playtime for them.
Now, does she have a lot of interaction, and she's given a lot of responsibilities with her little brother now?
Well, she's a big sister.
Okay, yeah. So I would definitely suggest possibly talking to a therapist to possibly see if there are some real behavioral issues. It sounds like she's a typical big sister. I know, I remember I was in that capacity, and I would just suggest that we first start there and then move forward.
Okay.
And see what the therapist suggests. If there's some other like support groups that she might be better suited with, where little girls or boys her own age, first time big brothers and sisters could possibly, kind of share some like experiences, and we can kind of meet back up within the next couple of weeks as to see what type of changes have taken place then. Does that sound like a plan?
Well, what's something she could do in the meantime? Is there anything she could do, maybe something I could tell her, try this with the kids?
Well, we have some literature about integrating new babies into the family. Although you have a year-old son, maybe there are some things that she might be experiencing that she may not know how to verbalize yet.
Okay.
And teaching her some more coping skills as to using words opposed to the aggression. We can try that also. And we have some resources, and I personally will look up some extra resources for our community to see what can better facilitate her. And if you give me like a couple of days, I can look up some support groups that might be able to get you in even sooner. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds great.
Well, I hope that we can kind of get this eradicated for you, get this situated, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem at all. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, we are doing interpretation for Social Work Practice 304, and here we go. How are you doing today, Ms. Roberts?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What brings you in today?
Well, I'm currently taking care of my elderly parents. My mom's 80, and she does okay on her own. My dad's 85, and he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's about 3 years ago. So it's progressed a lot, I guess. He doesn't really recognize any of the family. He can't really do any self-care tasks. And to the point where he can't feed himself. I'm not even sure if he recognizes food until I put it near his mouth. But I don't really want to put him in a nursing home. He'd never forgive me. He said he never wanted to go to one of those places. And after all these years, I'm finally able to repay him for all the trouble I caused when I was younger.
The trouble
right?
that you caused when you were younger.
Yeah, I was just a rowdy teenager. I mean, I was the daughter he was never proud of. My sister was the perfect one, but now she's nowhere to be found. Guess she's just too busy.
Okay. I hear that you have some feelings of guilt, possibly.
Well, I mean, taking care of my parents is just the right thing to do. They took care of me. It's my turn.
Okay, so do you feel that you might be obligated to take care of your parents? I hear a sense of you feeling like you're having to repay your father back for your misbehaviors as a youth.
They need the help now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's not me to do it, who else is there?
Okay. I'm also hearing some issues in regards to the family support, which would also be a sense of self-care for you and your mother also. Would you say that would be an issue that you're dealing with your sister, per se?
Well, first with Mom, I mean, she just hasn't accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was always her rock, and of course my sister was always very dependable, and now she doesn't have her either. And we just don't know how to contact her. It's just me and my sister, no other siblings. And we really don't have the money to put either one of them in a care facility or hire a caretaker.
Okay. I get the sense that you have a lot of different questions and concerns that you haven't been able to verbalize or address with someone else. And with that being said, I'll never forget when there was a situation prior to yours that I dealt with a client who had all these different feelings, similar feelings, especially when it comes into regards of a parent. I suggested and gave her some information for a couple of support groups for Alzheimer's patients and caregivers, along with possibly utilizing a home health care system. I don't know if that would be a concern for you.
Like that would be the best case scenario. I just don't know what we'd have to pay out of pocket.
If I were to tell you that we have ways that Medicaid does pay for that, would that be something that you would be interested in taking up?
Yeah, but I guess we'd find out later if we're eligible for that sort of thing.
I have individuals that I can connect you with.
Okay.
And we can do the eligibility requirements for your parents and see where we can go from there. We can either take care of that today. I don't know what your time looks like, but if you want to meet back with me within the next couple of days, we'll be glad to either sit down, talk about it, or I can call you. You can call me whenever the time is convenient, whatever would work best for you.
Also, could you look into SSI? I understand that's for, I'm not sure who's eligible for that either, but is that for disabled elderly or the disabled?
It would, but because of the age of your parents kind of fit into a different bracket also, so we can talk about that and get that situated.
Okay.
But I will write that down as a question and concern.
And that is separate from Medicaid, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I mean, it's Medicare, and then there's Medicaid. Medicare is more so for the SSI portion of it. Medicaid is for the older adults, over 65.
Okay. Well, I have your card. I will email you my contact information.
Okay.
And we'll try to set up an appointment next week.
That sounds like a plan. You have a good one, Ms. Roberts.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all.